Tavern.
10 seconds.
Welcome to Tlakas Tavern. Welcome to www.love2jam.radio.com. This is Tlakas Tavern. And yes, and we have William. We have Will back with us today.
Hey.
Glad to be invited back.
Did you enjoy yourself last time?
I did. I really did.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Obviously, you came back.
Yes.
Hey.
In traffic.
We have,
Hey.
we have the governor back with
You know,
us.
when you
The
spend
governor of what, though? Wait, before we go any further, what is he the governor of?
He-
Like he the governor of like a quarter, fifth ward? What is he the governor of? I just want to know. What is he governing? What is the governor
I
governing?
wish I had a quarter or fifth ward. I'll take
You know what?
200s of fifth.
Right now, you sure right, because I just got to checking my property value.
Tell her what you govern. Tell her what you
Look, I
govern.
was given that name from the Psychos. And
Oh, Lord.
It came from me. We were just talking about it. Knowing a little bit, trying to know a little bit about everything, but mostly strip clubs.
Strip clubs.
The governor of the strip club.
He was governing
Lord.
strip clubs.
So he the governor of Raw State.
Yeah, he just walk in and hey, there go the governor. You know, shit. He walk in like boss house.
The governor. I think he more like the alderman.
Alderman, what, up north is like a city council?
Yeah, all right.
And back to the introduction, and the host is Talaka Faces,
Good evening, everybody.
and I am Black Magic.
Oh Lord, that's who you are today.
He came in with the shits.
Oh man, he probably got the shits.
But
Not literally the shit.
He came in with the shits.
I came in on cloud nine.
I always thought he was black man.
Huh?
No, you see, we never know what we gonna get. See, like one day he might be Ahmad, then one day he Andre, then one day he Black, then next day he Black Magic, and then he just all kind. He don't know shit.
Depending on what you're drinking.
See, senor.
I don't know. He whatever the governor say he is. Okay, how about that?
He was doing this long before I was. So I'll just take his word for it.
Next week I'm gonna be Jesus.
Okay.
That's fine with me. Cause all y'all need to be cut.
Yeah, this
Ramondo, the pool boy.
Well, so this week we were. It's so many different topics to talk about.
What's today in the
Oh, today suck.
Hello.
Tuesdays. We always talk about the day, national holiday. Our holidays always suck. Today is Babe Ruth Day.
the candy or the white
No,
man?
the white man.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, damn, why it can't be like?
What you laughing at? The kids is the candy and the white man.
Well, I was.
I know, but you like the candy?
Yeah, but no, man, I'm my feelings like like they just had shrimp scampi day and pizza day, I take the super fatalistic day, but we always have some old jacked up days. But it's Tuesday today. Is Babe Ruth Day. Play ball.
I didn't know it was Babe Ruth Day. That was a pretty racist cat. So that's.
But that's what I'm saying. It didn't highlight it wasn't the highlight of my Tuesday.
That wasn't on your.
I wasn't aware today is Babe Ruth Day.
I didn't either.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's every Tuesday is a holiday.
Thank God I did know. So I try to remember it. So let's forget it next year.
So everybody that's checking in, I do want to do a few updates. I want to thank Touch by Tay. She's one of our sponsors. Want y'all to still root for my co-host here. They're about to do this 150 for muscular dystrophy. I always mess it up. MS.
Yes.
So they're about to do this big ride, and so I'm gonna give him like a tap, not a whole clap. Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Because you've been doing good with your training and everything.
That's this coming Saturday.
Yes,
Yeah, that's the Saturday.
That's Saturday.
So that anybody out, I know people normally go along the routes. Shout out to them and root them on.
We starting off in Katy, Texas, at Katy Mills, and we ride all the way to Bryant College Station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who gon-
I heard that y'all are riding into Kyle Field.
Yep. Right in the cow field.
So with that, we're just gonna give him his little props for that.
Yeah, pray for me, everybody. Pray for me. Please say a prayer.
Well, I'll be out there, in the truck. I'm gonna follow y'all.
What? Good looking out, dude. Good looking. We get ratchet in Bryan, Texas. We gonna get ratchet.
The governor's coming. The governor's coming.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Bryan,
Lord.
Texas, beware. The governor is coming.
Yeah. Have a couple of cops waiting on
They
my
gonna
ass.
run our ass clean out of College Station.
You boys better be careful.
Well, I look. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I would be sitting at the county.
For the county?
Yeah, not that county.
Oh, okay.
But it's the other part of the
County
county.
line.
Oh.
No, man, I'm at the pushing bodies. There we go. Getting people from one place to the other. That's what I'm gonna do. But I want to know if anybody caught the news. I was trying to catch it, but they broke it to TMZ. They're saying that it's some school district that if the teachers took the COVID vaccine, they're not going to hire them. And I was wondering if anybody heard anything about that one yet.
If the teachers took the COVID vaccine, they're not getting hired.
Right.
Why is that?
That's what I'm trying to find out. I could.
You sure that's not fake news?
No, that was on Fox 26. I was trying to catch it.
I'm just saying.
Fox.
Well, no, they were
Well,
coming
there you
into. Well, I'm just saying that was what the reporter was speaking on. She was like, one of the district states that if the teachers take COVID, they're not going to hire them.
Or if they're not taking
No, I may be many things, but illiterate, I'm not.
COVID. Oh, wow.
So
Take that.
now for the last time, but no, for the last time they said if the teachers take the COVID vaccine, they will not hire them. And I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. That's what another reason why I was a few minutes late. But then they cut into TMZ about Britney Spears making a damn sandwich, and I could care less about Britney Spears making a sandwich.
I'm gonna have to investigate that. I wish I had time to look into that right
Definitely
now.
haven't
though.
heard it yet, but I saw something where one of the hospitals here in Houston is going to make their employees start taking it, and some are opting out.
Well, no, some hospitals, from my understanding, have made it mandatory. So as of right now,
I know some have, but
yes.
this one said they're going to make them take it, and employees can opt out if they want, but they can't go to work. So what kind of shit is that?
Right. But that's the next thing that's coming up. My thing is with this the COVID vaccine, that's still a big topic because at this point, I still don't trust it. They haven't done enough research on it for me. That's just my particular, I'm not a bandwagon, so I don't care who took it. I'm not taking it until they can show me some better studies. With that being said, in a year or two, they'll have more research. Yeah, I think Methodist Hospital is one of the facilities that is mandatory to take the COVID vaccine in order for them to work. Right now, it's still optional for me. That I'll bullshit aside. That's why I've been saving my money. Y'all ain't nobody see me nowhere. My money saved up because I need to be able to pay
Lovey, have you
my
got?
car note.
I thought she was gonna say I need to go out the country. She said my car no.
I'm not bothered. Right now, I refuse to take it. My thing, you're not going to
Did
force
you
that
catch
on
it?
me.
Me?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I was also in the military. And I'm just saying, whenever you first join the military and before every deployment overseas, you get hella shots. Like I'm talking about,
Seriously.
you don't even know what you're getting shot with. You know what I mean? So then I don't know. I haven't been in the military, but I haven't really been sick since. I don't really get sick like that. And then just, keeping up with myself. And
So your schedule here, ever since we had the breakout in early 2020, y'all have been doing these shows in here without fail?
actually, we stopped for maybe 2 months. We stopped for maybe 2 months. And then I was just back on it, and everyone was had to get tested because the way they were working, I was getting tested every month just because I would still do what I'm doing now, which is spray everything down, wipe everything down, and there was no in-studio guests, only, the hosts, only the team.
Yeah.
You know, and then we did like a lot of video zooming, that kind of thing for guests. But, you know, we try to keep ourselves alive here.
That's pretty good. I mean, literally, you know, the confines that you're working, you know.
Well, I'm gonna just say this: there's people on regular jobs that are in worse conditions. That like we're here, but then like she said, if it's just the host, we have enough space to where one person can hear, one person can hear. Actually, you can still do 3 people 6 feet, and you still straight, except for we have to move
I
the
understand,
producer.
but you know, when it first hit, you know how it was hit and miss, and they really didn't know what was going on.
True.
I never stopped.
Literally,
But
for
this is
many
the thing.
people
I never
coming here
stopped
walking
working.
around.
No, but this is the thing.
I didn't skip a beat.
You have to look at even in the hospital. Employees wasn't 6 feet apart. We was all still bunched up at the nurse station. We were still bunched up at our desk. We were still bunched up. That was one of the big complaints that they had. We didn't have. They were not taking the proper safety.
But you had all y'all's PPE.
No.
No,
At that time, y'all.
we didn't because we were confined. We could do a mask, but that's because we're in the office. We're doing desk work. Not,
Okay, well,
Also,
not with-
I don't know anybody, everybody, well, I'm just saying, everyone that I know is a marijuana smoker. Having said that,
That's why y'all didn't
none
know
of
it.
nobody that I know
I
that
told
smokes wet weed has caught COVID.
I
No,
told you.
That I know.
Well, hold on. They did a study. They did a whole study
I
on
wasn't
it.
gonna say it, but I was like, let me see what
No,
we come up.
actually, they did a whole study, and it is a known fact that marijuana smokers are less prone to catch COVID, and that's what that explains a lot. Because I'm like, I don't know how such and such didn't, but they good, and everybody else around
Not
them.
only marijuana smokers, cigarette smokers.
He said, let.
I'm
They didn't say that. That's not a study.
I'm telling
That
you.
ain't no study.
I don't-
telling
Ain't
you.
nobody studying that. You need to cut it out.
Did you say this? No, are
This
you
nigga said cigarettes.
Are you telling us?
Smoking with
Okay, we
cigarettes.
I'm
researched it.
telling you that.
Okay, so hold on.
Marijuana smokers
Hold
are
on.
less to move around. 'Cause
I'm
they're smoking
telling you that.
So we're gonna stop right there on that note because see, fact is medical studies have shown
I'm a-
that marijuana users, smokers are less prone to catch COVID. Now, if you're listening to Black or
Yes.
Black Magic,
Yes.
he says cigarette smokers too. I'm not okay. So we're starting this show off again. I am not condoning what this young man said about
don't matter
cigarette
what-
My
smokers.
claim is based in fact and study. I haven't seen no studies on cigarette smokers.
I did
Wait,
my
Linda,
own
everybody
study.
smoking
Oh,
weed.
he
or
did his
chewing it
own.
up. They getting
I
it in.
did my own study.
They
Oh.
getting
Y'all
it
won't
in.
believe me or them white folks.
Oh, you're lying out.
It's how it is.
Wait. So hold on. He said we don't believe him and his white folks.
That's how it is.
But look, he drinking PD.
Grown up adult Pedialyte.
That
Electrolytes.
is electrolyte. You a hater.
Okay, it's gonna light your ass up in about 10 minutes. But
They actually were looking at cannabis having with that knowledge that it, you know, the people, they're like trying to figure out why. So they're looking at cannabis and the cannabinoids in the plant to help come up with a natural way to cure or to prevent COVID.
Love it. They've done it. They just.
They want Johnson & Johnson to get their money,
Yeah.
and they
for
want
real.
Big Pharma to get their money.
Yeah,
And I understand that, but I'm just saying, like,
I don't think they want Johnson & Johnson to really get their money. I think that Johnson & Johnson was just a product of, I think that they were just trying to make sure, because most of the big wigs are invested in Pfizer.
mhm.
So it doesn't, I have my own, so now this is my own theory.
The study was
I'm-
flawed.
What study
You
was
and your
flawed?
Googling ass.
What
This son
study?
of a- He didn't Google tobacco smokers have a higher risk of catching the COVID.
I
That's
thought
what I'm
so,
talking
because it
about.
makes the
Lies.
lungs more
They said
susceptible.
marijuana too.
Nah.
Lies. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's false.
The body is
False,
smart enough to
false,
protect us from
false.
infections that are in the air, but vaping and smoking marijuana can suppress our natural defense system.
Didn't we just
That's
say
not
chewing?
true.
But didn't we just say
Stop.
chewing it? Ain't nobody smoking no more. They chewing it.
I'm talking about smoking
No,
it. And that's not, I think that's false, though, because it even
False.
was talking about, hey,
Yeah.
hush, Nipsey. It even was talking about,
I was like, who's she talking?
talking to Nipsey, he crying for Talaka. He's standing on the box looking over the thing.
I was wondering
He's childish.
what that was.
He's on the box, girl. He done climbed up on the box. I hate it here.
Nip.
He is childish. Anyway, the
You say I don't agree with that.
huh?
You said I don't agree. I don't
Nah,
agree.
because I mean, shit. I didn't want to know. They can't even name a person that is an avid marijuana smoker who has died of COVID.
No, they can't.
No, I never said die.
I know what you're talking about.
I just said
I'm gonna
contract.
just say
Well, you may
this.
contract it. Everybody's going to, I'm going to say everybody. You may contract it, but it's not going to affect you as much as it affect the next person.
Well, I know I caught it in March, early March of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I caught it early. I caught it so early when I went to CVS that they tested me for influenza A and B, which I didn't have. So they said, you probably have COVID. You immediately go and
Isolate.
They didn't have a test for it.
But this is the thing, like with COVID, even after you catch it, after 10 days, they like, you don't have to isolate no more. So, I mean, what is it? I mean, it's crazy. The rules are changing as
Because they find out more about it. I mean, I understand that. I mean, just like I think now, this is me. There's enough of us around each other. You probably, even if you think you didn't think you had not caught it,
I think
you
everybody
probably
has caught it.
It's just like the flu or any other human, illness that we catch as humans. It's not.
It maybe didn't affect you as it affected
But
some other
others.
people really severe, and you probably caught it. And you probably got right over it.
I think it all has to do with like population control. People dying off with weaker genes and weaker immune systems.
That's my take on it. I'm sorry. I'm a firm believer.
Lovey thinks some shit going on.
No, it is. I'm gonna tell
There's
you.
always some
Okay,
shit.
Lovey
look,
thinks the new world order kicking in.
it is. I agree with it. Look, I'm gonna say this, and I know this
Mark
is
of
just
the beast, huh, Lovey?
I ain't saying nothing about no beasts. We are the beasts.
But
Yeah,
now
true.
that shit going on in India right now, that's some scary shit. Y'all you keeping up with that?
Yeah.
What's going on over there,
With all
Talaka?
the COVID, India is
They say it's over 350,000 people that have it, and they literally
just
don't have
dying.
anywhere to put the bodies.
Yeah.
So they are just burning
That's
bodies.
in the street.
I think they said it's 2,900.
They
people
just
dead.
now getting it there?
No, some religions and
It
cultures
broke out again.
no, they refuse to take medicine. Sometimes some cultures refuse to take medicine. They refuse to get vaccines. They're not going to do it.
Right, and there's
So-
nothing wrong with that.
Yes, nothing wrong with it. But when the disease catch fire, you're going to get a whole lot of deaths.
I'm trying to figure out.
That's what's happening over there.
Right, but how long has this been going on over there? And
Well,
why is it just now starting? And if it was the second wave, then what would they do the first time?
it's literally the second way. Everybody thought it was.
Yep.
Contained.
What would they do the first time to contain it?
Nothing.
They stopped. Well, no, they closed.
No,
they closed everything. They tried to stop everybody from gathering, which is hard in India because it's
Fucking India.
India.
Right.
But now, like as you said, the second wave hit. They said I think 2,900 people
Yeah.
a day are dying.
Are dying, and it's horrible. It's
I wonder what kind of weed they got over there.
I don't think.
Not enough people
No.
smoking over there.
Well, the thing about it is, and even in India too, it's about the have and the have-nots too. And so the people that are being affected are the have-nots.
How though? If you think about it, it would be the haves because they're the ones traveling to contract it.
It actually is, and I'm glad you said it. It actually is a article, and you can pull it up on Google. The haves that are very rich, they say they are renting private jets like it ain't crazy.
And they get out of there. Getting out of
They're
there.
not supposed to be leaving.
They're just taking it with them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have to remember. You're saying how COVID is airborne. So all it takes is one person in here that can contaminate this whole studio. And you have to look at how many people in the household.
It's just like the common cold, though. I mean, same shit. Like we're not like doing all these extra, steps for the regular cold unless it's during flu season, and then we might step it up a little bit.
But the difference is between the cold, the flu, and COVID. So cold, our systems have built up. That's been around longer. The systems have
Exactly,
built
but it started as the COVID of its time when it first dropped in maybe like the I don't want to
Way
say
back in the
15th century,
Yeah.
16th century. You know what I'm saying?
But that's just like even when you take a flu shot, they're giving you flu, the viruses that they say are most prominent, doesn't mean that they're covering you for all of the flu strains. So even though you take a flu shot, you can still catch the flu. It's because
Same thing with COVID.
Yeah, because of so many strains. And now with COVID, that's what that was my biggest concern, was once it start, the variants start, and what would be the effects of the variants.
Well,
It's just like
it's crazy. I didn't know, especially if you look on the bottle of like those old cans.
Yeah,
of
Lysol and your
COVID's been
bleach.
around for quite a
It
while.
says 19. So we done went through. We started somewhere
It's
before
just
19.
amazing now they finally caught up with us.
And you know they had a vaccination for dogs for COVID.
How did I know that?
They had way back in the gap that the dogs and cattle and all that, they had a COVID vaccine. We didn't. But this was I'm stuck with. I'm sorry. This is just my personal belief. I am a conspiracy theorist on certain things. I do believe that it is a part of depopulation. This is my personal opinion, and I can speak it because we're in the United States of America. I believe that Trump knew what was going on. That's why he didn't close those borders. They all are invested in Pfizer. They already knew what they were planning on doing. That's why he let it do what it did. If they sitting back at home getting paid, he's not concerned because they feel like they're exempt from what's going on in the real world. That's just my take on it. We got 3 of them. They let Johnson & Johnson in there, so that way they can't say that it was all, no minorities had a hand in it. So that's what Johnson & Johnson came in, and I still have a thing about they were picking on them. They were saying because they had 6 people to have the blood clots and 2 died from it, but they're not telling all the people that died from Pfizer and all the people that died from Moderna and all of the side effects that are going along with it.
So if it was another series out there, say right in the U.S.,
Mhm.
and they told us, okay, look, you know how they pull stuff up usually by your zip code.
Yeah.
Would you go ahead and take it if they told you, look, I really don't want to say it's mandatory to take it, but I would.
Not necessarily, because we have a new variant. Who's to say that what this?
I understand, but whatever at that time that they had, look, I need y'all to go ahead and take this. Would you take it or not?
No.
Will, did you take it?
No.
Oh, so shit. We consensus in here. No one is.
The only reason that I've not taken it, I think we touched on this last week.
Yeah, like Titus said, he says there's a good list of reasons not to take the COVID vaccine. Number 1 on his list, which is the same as mine, is that he says I'm not a lab rat.
True.
And that's exactly what they're doing. They're running all of these studies. And so what's scaring me is that they're saying, oh, it's okay to give pregnant women who are breastfeeding. So they're giving them these injections, but they really don't know what the long-term effect would be on the kids. And you know, I for me, it's just that's the part that scares me.
And you would not take it either.
No.
Well, see, okay, so you know, in talking about COVID, I have my own theory. I feel like Pfizer, if you have to do one of the 3, Pfizer might be the better of the 3. But what I don't like now, they're saying again with Pfizer, you have to take 3 shots. They're saying now, because I'm like, they want you to take a vaccine. They don't know how long the vaccine is good for. They don't know what are the long-term side effects of it. They can't tell you anything. The whole thing is straight experimental. So now they're saying that you need those 2, where actually you need 3, and now they're recommending that you take it once a year.
Just like the flu shot.
And again, my question is,
do you know anyone, which they say this is probably I think 4 out of 5 or 4 out of, I forgot the ratio. That you know somebody close to you that passed from it.
yeah.
You?
Yeah.
I know. Yes, one of my really good friends. 2 of my really good friends lost parents behind COVID. I just my personal opinion. I believe that the COVID shot, the vaccination, had something to do with pushing my dad's death a little faster, simply because my dad already had a bunch of issues. So to me, he really had no business taking it. I was against it.
Like pre-existing heart condition or
right.
health conditions.
Yeah, my dad was a alcoholic, so well, I'm just saying, and he had lung cancer, and
Oh, yeah,
he had a bunch of other things. And I'm like, he was moving slow, but he was still functioning. But he took that COVID vaccine, and 2 weeks later, he couldn't breathe, and then he was gone. So, but I do know several people who have died from COVID, and a lot of people are thankful for the vaccine. But
The
again,
vaccine don't keep you from
catching
getting
COVID,
it though. It
but
just helps you not die from it, and it ain't even guaranteed. It's we hope
that you don't die from it.
Well, I made sure my parents dad's 82, mom's 84, and mom caught it. We almost lost it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's rough. I've watched it. My thing is,
so I don't mean to cut you off. I apologize. So since you almost lost mom, didn't that scare you enough to go get the vaccine? Why not?
We made sure. You know, Jackie is in the medical.
Yeah.
She works in virology.
Yeah.
And her boss went to MIT and she said there's no way you can compile all that information in a short time.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're dealing with a pandemic, so they had to get it out there, get it into the people and see
what happens.
So she was telling me she would advise against me taking the vaccine because I'd already caught it. I'd already been identified that had the antibodies.
Yeah.
They said give blood, do whatever you can. But she told me don't take the vaccine yet. But mom and dad, me and Mike made sure that we stayed away from it. We delivered the food. We didn't go in the house. But the crazy thing is, dad never
got it.
He was diagnosed as asymptomatic. And then after he got sick for a while, they still weren't sure if he had caught it or not. So he had been with mom so he could stay around her in the house, but he never caught it. Now he has had the Moderna virus. The vaccine. He's taken that. He didn't get any of the side effects and nothing.
Wow.
But mom, it almost took her out.
Okay, so that's my thing. I've watched people. I was in the hospital, so I was watching people die. I was watching all of it's horrible. And my heart goes out to all of those families. But again, my thing is with, just like you said, with the vaccine, they don't know. Now, again, me and Titus, we're on the same page. Now, he says, keep in mind that the organizations that are promoting and pushing and providing the vaccine are the same people who believe the planet is overcrowded and they're perfecting their antidote for the virus that they created. And he said, prove them wrong. I agree with him. And then he says, what they don't know is that you can still catch COVID out the vaccine. And that I do know. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people think, I took the COVID vaccine, I'm good. No, you're not good, because you can still catch it. You're still at risk of having the same effects as somebody who has not taken it. The only difference is you're supposed to not have severe side effects.
And then also I'd be thinking, like, I don't know how they're doing the tests, but we are made differently, you know what I mean, than our Caucasian counterparts. And so if they're putting it together chemically and genetically in certain ways that's not conducive to how we're made up, then I mean, it might affect us more adversely. It might, I know a major thing is making men sterile, you know, especially black men. So it's like, hold on, you know, another reason.
Well, I mean,
but that's what we talked about last week.
What they did to the guys out of Tuskegee.
But that's what we talked about last week. And right now, I know several people, like even we were talking, so, you know, I was telling the guys, I was like, hey, y'all need to be careful, because just my thought, I'm like, the Pfizer might be the safest, the Moderna is the one that they're using everybody for the guinea pig with, and Johnson & Johnson is just hanging out in the wind, because that's to keep the you know, they can't say they didn't have any minorities doing this. And in order to get us on the bandwagon, that's why they have all these Tyler Perry and all these other people.
I saw Dr. J yesterday on a commercial. I was like, oh my God.
With that they took the exam, and they took the COVID shot and all this. Like, you know, like these people, I'm not a bandwagon. So just because Dr. J took it, that don't mean that it's gonna force or convince me.
I was pissed off that he even got suckered into doing that commercial. You know, like, really, dude?
Some zeros on that check.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. So
At the bottom in small letters, it says paid advertisement.
so
Cha-ching.
He said,
That's paid
where do I
advertising.
stand?
So
Wow.
that's the issue that I have. And as far as the sterilization, that's the big thing that we've been talking about too. About so when I'm speaking to us as Black folks, we're going they're like, oh, I don't care, we ain't trying to have no babies, but they just did the census. They just showed that we are now one of the least popular. We are the least populated people on the planet right now. And so now, and basically they are sterilizing our men because basically they're saying through the food, the water, the vaccines that they are, that now our men, y'all shooting blanks. Y'all, and
Well, I'm old. He old too, so we ain't, they got to
Oh,
worry
shit.
about us. It's a
We
young
won't.
kids.
see, that's what I'm talking about right there.
But if you talk about the black race,
But we're
Yeah, I know it's
talking
a
about
race,
the race of the
yeah.
race.
Yeah.
Look, it's past our time. This is a young guy.
But that's the thing, they're not able to do it. They're saying by 2045 that at least 75% of people who want to conceive are gonna have to go through some form of in vitro.
Wow.
Oh, but when you came in early, you tell me you were working. You work in the morgue.
No, but I've had to push some in there. I've pushed some in there before.
I had a couple of jokes on that one, but I'm gonna let him make it.
Because you were saying you when you push. So you work at a hospital.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You don't work in the morgue.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
But I can.
Speaking of morgue, we are going to break. Please, we'll be back in 5 minutes. We'll be back in 8 minutes. I apologize, sister. On Tlakas Tavern on www.lovetojam.com. I am Black Magic.
Oh,